Curtain Jerks is brought to you by Audible.com. Get your free audiobook download at audibletrial.com/comedy podcast network. Over 100,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android. Whoa! Lightning! Smoke!
Yeah! Love to read. Yeah!
Macho Man Randy Savage, what are you doing here?
Yeah, love to read. Talking about reading. Yeah, got a book right here.
Hey, wait a minute. You know, with audible.com /audibletrial.com/comedy podcast network.
There's a lot of slashes in there. I don't know if any of those are accurate.
Really? Let me try that again. You know, at audibletrial.com/comedy podcast network, you can read things with your ears on your iPhone, your Android, your Kindle, or your MP3 player.
What do you mean? I don't have to pick up a book no more?
Yeah, you had the most muscular pinky I'd ever seen when you picked up that book.
That's right. See, the problem is that I have with books is they're my enemy. Yeah, because I always get paper cuts. That's why I always got tape on my fingers.
Macho Man Randy Savage, you don't have to cut your fingers anymore on books. You can listen to these books.
No more paper cuts?
No more paper cuts.
The beauty of Audible is I got no more paper cuts, so I can read even more with my ears.
That sounds like a hell of a slogan. The beauty of Audible is no more paper cuts.
No more paper cuts for the Macho Man. No. So you telling me that I gotta pay for no more paper cuts?
See, that's the beauty part, Macho Man Randy Savage. With this, you get a free audiobook once you use the Curtain Jerks promo code.
Free audiobook? Yeah, dig it.
That's free, and then you're also going to be free of paper cuts.
Free of paper cuts, free downloads, free everything. The show is free. I like it.
You know what, Macho Man Randy Savage? You're welcome.
Let's go to the circus.
Let's do it.
Welcome, everyone, to Curtain Jerks right here on the Comedy Podcast Network. I'm Scott Narver.
And I'm Steve Sears.
We are comedians who work in Hollywood, and some of us are a little under the weather.
I think you'd be amiss to say it's both of us.
No, you're not sick, are you?
No, I'm feeling great.
Oh,
I've got my entire life ahead of me.
You shaved a bunch of your face off.
Yeah, I don't look like the logo anymore, which is a shame because I love that logo. I wish that was my driver's license.
Well, I don't look like the logo either because I'm bearding it up.
Yeah, that's true. Oh my God, we're reversing each other.
We are reversing each other.
All we're doing is reversing each other's special moves. This is a podcast about wrestling.
Jaiho Jarab, who made us our awesome logo. If you haven't seen it at this point, I don't know how you avoided it. If you're listening to this podcast, you're like,
Curtain Jerks. Oh. I don't want to see it. Don't.
Maybe a blindy.
I thought that was the majority of our listeners.
Blindies?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
that's the affectionate term. That's not stereotypical, right?
No. I don't think there is a derogatory term for blind people.
I don't want to challenge anyone to find out, but I'm sure there is.
No, but like what? I mean, even deaf people, there's not really a. It's once you're they don't seem to go much further.
No, I think it's not so much a term, but I feel like you
can rip on it.
The rip is there,
but like the slur for it, you know.
Something that's very common in sort of comedy improv shows.
I mean, if for blind people, you'd write it down all the time. You never say it.
Yeah, but that would
pass it around.
That would be a physical rip. It wouldn't be like a name or something.
Well, but there would be a name, but you'd write it down and go like, "Hey, look."
And all you just wrote was just
sunshineless.
Yeah, you just didn't write anything. You just like, yeah, I wrote it down. The funny thing in a lot of comedy improv shows is that when a person plays a blind person, they tend to play a blind person as retarded.
And they tend to play them like a cartoon in the dark, just putting their arms out and moving them around.
Yeah, I've been blind my
entire
life. Head up in the air, put your hands out like someone just turned out the lights for the first time.
Yeah. It's like, no.
Play to the height of the intelligence.
Of someone's, not your own.
Not your own.
Because chances are you don't got it.
If you're in an improv show,
you don't got it.
If you're in an improv show, always play smarter than you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Play like Damien Sandow.
Yeah, you know what? Play as if the audience was an audience full of Damien Sandows.
Wait. Don't you want to play as Damien Sandow?
Yeah, but wouldn't Damio Sandow want
Damio Sandow?
Yeah, Damio Sandow. Damio Sandow would play.
He did it again.
That time I thought was intentional. It might have just been.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, Damian Rhodes. If he was playing for an audience full of himself, I think he'd do quite a great production.
I think he would do quite a great production.
We live in Los Angeles.
We do. Well, one of us does.
Yeah, but you're in the greater Southern California area.
I'll move back here if there's a paycheck involved. I feel that's my new philosophy.
Man, and I'm writing a movie right now for Scott, and it's very it's going to be hard.
You said you'd sell it off if you could.
Yeah, but I checked with you to see if that was okay.
It's really not.
It's not okay?
It kind of sucks to be like, we're both working on this. I would say, what? I'm a story buy?
Yeah, I would think I would do 50-50 with you.
Well, yeah, but do I get like screenplay by?
No, you get story by.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense to me. When I see that in movies now, I go, hey, I guess I'm a story by.
Yeah, you're a story by.
And the
And it's
screenplay
more
by,
like
no.
it's more story about, I think. That's what I really
It is
writing.
true. It does
But
mirror
if anything,
my life quite a bit.
I'm glad you told me. So now you hear it now. You heard it now. It's now on
I
record.
guess I think
Scott,
about it.
Yeah, Scott wants to. If the
I'd
script
like to
gets
make
written,
it.
if it gets finished, he wants to be in it.
And if it gets fidget,
If he gets fidget, then
I'm out.
He's out. He's
I'm out.
So Scott wants the movie. He wants to be in it.
I'd like to make this movie. It seems like a good idea.
Yeah. What's it
And
about?
it seems like it'd
Can't
be fun.
tell you.
Can't tell you. It's
Yeah.
under wraps.
It's under wraps. But Scott is an amazing actor.
I'm all right.
No, he's
I'm
very
a little
good.
under the weather.
Yeah, because there's
the
no
weather
paycheck
was-
in it for him.
If the weather was Kali, if the weather was the great Kali,
Uh-huh.
I'm Tyson Kidd. That's
Ooh.
where I'm at.
Okay. So as you get better,
I was Hornswoggle on Monday night. That's where I was.
So
I
your
was,
stature and how you carry yourself.
yeah,
How you
yeah.
feel
Like where I was with the weather. I was Hornswoggle on Monday night. 3-hour rod didn't help. And then I'm up to Tyson Kidd now. So I'm growing.
you didn't curl up like with some chicken soup and like some popcorn watching Raw?
Chicken soup and popcorn?
That was a mistake. I meant to say 7-Up. I don't know why I said popcorn. Popcorn because you're watching something, chicken soup because you're sick, put them together because you wanted to throw up. I don't know.
Well, it's a good idea. Speaking of which, I thought about this just before we started recording. We haven't talked about this yet. The WWE 2K14 game, they got a lot of the roster announced.
This
Not
is
the whole
this
thing.
is going to be for Xbox 360. It's not for the Xbox One.
No, it's not. It's on the current gen system, so it'll be a PS3, Xbox 360. I don't think they care about the Wii or the Wii U because you can't play games on that.
Which is
impossible.
kind of a shame if you think about it.
No.
But WWE, WWE would totally WWE.
Oh, I see.
I wasn't
But
going to say that,
WWE,
but I couldn't finish my sentence, so I just said that. Yeah.
Oh,
But I mean, it's a child's console. It's like it's great.
Mark Warzeka owns one.
Yeah, he's a child. You heard him last week.
Yeah, he is a big baby.
Yeah. Oh no, no. A lot of
I
grown
think he
men
doesn't
enjoy
listen
this
to
verse.
when he's not on.
No, of course not. Hey, Mark. No answer. See, he's not even listening.
Well, they have this new mode in this one where they're going to be doing the 30 years of WrestleMania. So they have a lot of key players from moments in WrestleMania. And so they have retro versions of the guys. They have the current versions of the guys. And it looks pretty extensive. Greg Miller, when I did that interview with him at E3, he basically called it for what it was, that they were going to play up the legends really big.
Mm-hmm.
And they did. You can check out that video on youtube.com/CurtainJerksPodcast. But
do you think that might have been because when they started production on 2K4, is it K14?
well, who's it took over? 2K took over for THQ because THQ went under. So the game isn't that vastly different, but I think they started to put their stamp on it with this.
What I'm saying is, do you think that they made that decision to put so many legends in right around that time when they didn't feel like they hadn't bolstered the roster in WWE? They're like, we don't have any stars, so we have to go to all the legends.
Well, they always do a little something. They did the Attitude Era for the last game, and now this one they're doing the legacy of WrestleMania,
which I think was definitely a sort of like, we don't have any of the stars right now. It's like Cena and Undertaker comes back every once in a while.
Oh, that's a burn.
It's a real burn.
That's a burn on your guys like your Titus O'Neil.
Yeah, but now sort
Darren
of,
Young.
now
freshly
hearing
outed.
a legacy, like a legend-centric sort of game is interesting to me because right now it seems like they've got the strongest roster they've had in years.
Yeah, it's crazy good. There's all these guys on here. You got Diesel. You got Goldberg for the first time
Is
in
the
the game.
Shield on there?
They haven't announced them yet because they were going through WrestleMania stuff.
Okay.
So they're taking like all the key players out of WrestleMania. So the current roster guys they haven't really delved into. They put Darren Young on there once he outed himself, which is strange because if if you look at just all these guys, you got like Macho Man, Goldberg, Hulk Hogan, CM Punk, Batista, Darren Young. It just doesn't quite fit, but they threw him out there because it's like, hey, good for him.
How many question marks are left?
Well, it shows that many, but when they showed about that many when they had all like,
It looks like they got about 19 left.
They say it's supposed to be the
sorry, 14.
The most extensive roster to a game to date. So I think it'll have pretty much everybody current. My guess is no Rob Van Dam.
Okay, I can see that.
So that's exciting. But I think there's a lot of guys missing on here still. Who do you think?
Titus O'Neil.
Yeah, and no Roddy Piper for this either.
Really?
No Piper.
Well, there's a few question marks left. I think that they could reveal a Piper in there.
But they've seemed to revealed all the WrestleMania guys. I think it's very strange.
I mean, did Piper really have anything to do with WrestleMania?
I think he did.
Honestly.
Guys, am I in the roster?
Jack, hey, how you doing?
I'm just
Scott, close the laptop.
You guys talking about legends?
Scott, close the laptop.
You guys talking about well, let me just hold that open for you.
No,
you can't close it. I got it basically in the equivalent of the ankle lock.
That's true. You have it in the ankle open.
Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Oh, looks like it's alphabetical. I'll just check for current general manager Jack Swagger here. So you got Hulk Hogan, Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
You know, Jack, it is just WrestleMania. I mean, it is sort of the granddaddy of them all, but there are several to be revealed.
I won the Money in the Bank.
That's true.
I won the Money in the Bank at one of them.
Yeah,
I think it was 26, if I'm not mistaken. It's, why hold on to it that dearly when you're going to make more WrestleMania moments all the time?
Why remember one WrestleMania when you've got so many
more? Let's see here, JBL. Well, I guess you put that there because it's initials, so, it's not necessarily alphabetical at that point.
Absolutely. But remember, Jack, it's not if you win or lose. It's just if you're in the game at all,
John Cena
playing the game. I mean, if you're playing the game.
Well, maybe they did a phone book style. Maybe I'm under Swagger. Let me scroll down. Ultimate Warrior. Well, all right. What
Jack,
has he done lately?
You're not in it.
What?
I don't think you're going to be in the Legends section of WWE 2.
WrestleMania moments.
WrestleMania moments.
But I'm filled with them.
I can't.
I helped Michael Cole win a match.
I can't remember.
But I was there. It was so okay, sure. There's some other elements going on. It's Jared the King Lawler's first match. Who cares, right? No one gives a shit.
Yeah.
And then you had Michael Cole, and then you had Stone Cold Steve Austin
with JR. Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever. Blah blah blah. Right? Who cares about Stone Cold Steve Austin? I don't think that guy's ever sold any T-shirts. I sold a ton of T-shirts.
I have a feeling he probably really pushed the whole T-shirt thing in WWE.
I don't think so. You have proof?
I think he might have. Based on the fact that he's had
that's
so
opinion.
many different T-shirts.
That's opinion.
Yeah.
That's opinion.
Yeah, I guess it is an opinion.
Yeah, that's an opinion.
Yeah.
I'm talking cold, hard facts here. And I was in that match. I trained Michael Cole to his victory.
I think
Has
the
Stone
cold
Cold
hard
ever trained
fact
anybody?
is that you're not in the Legends section of WWE 2K14.
Oh, that is a stiff boner.
That is a real stiff boner
That
for
is
you.
a stiff boner.
Hey, man.
To my bum.
Yeah, it's a bummer. Boner.
It's a boner bummer.
Boner.
Well, I'm going to get on this. I'm going to, hey, everybody seems to be really upset about Ben Affleck being Batman.
Yeah.
I think we should start a petition right now. Jack Swagger in WWE 2K14.
I'm so glad you didn't say for Green Arrow.
Oh, Jack Swagger for Green Arrow.
No.
Jack Swagger for Green Arrow.
It wouldn't surprise me with the casting they've already been doing. But,
that'd be sweet.
No, I don't know.
Bows and arrows?
Yeah, bows and arrows.
I guess just get some bows and arrows.
Jack, you know what? I think maybe for today you should just focus on your work, just your general manager work here at Curtain Jerks. And
do you have a special guest coming up today?
Yes, we do.
Christian Rosenberg.
Yes, big on the indie scene, Christian Rosenberg.
Yeah, that's right. He's the voice of choice.
He's the voice of choice.
Christian Rosenberg.
You got me in the eye that time.
Well, you're welcome.
Thanks.
Good thing I'm not sick.
Yeah, good thing.
Yeah,
good thing, Jack.
Well, I'm gonna get back to my work.
All right, thanks, Jack.
Jack's right. I should have mentioned that at the beginning of the show. We have a guest today.
That's right.
Yeah, independent guy on the indie scene. He's worked with. Well, we're gonna get into his intro when he comes up. So we're gonna have him a little bit later on in the show. Well, it's weird. I hear podcasts where they do the ramp up intro, and then they cut to when they have them on, and then do the ramp up intro again.
Yeah, no. What
So
we
I'm
do,
trying to avoid that.
what we're doing on
I
our ramp,
avoided introducing him from the beginning of the show.
yeah, we're doing a ramp up where we're getting the excitement up, but we're just gonna do the intro when he's in there. You okay? You're closing your
No,
eyes.
I think I've gone down to Max Mini.
Who?
Great Khali's the weather. I'm down to Max Mini.
Is that another smaller wrestler?
He's a midget. He's a
Okay.
tiny midget wrestler. It's like a Sin Cara if you shrunk him.
What was the WrestleMania match we saw that had a mixed midget big man tag match?
That we watched?
Yeah, we watched it. It was an outdoors WrestleMania. It might
WrestleMania 3?
I think it might have been WrestleMania 3.
Oh, so with Hillbilly Jim
Mhm.
and his midgets versus King Kong Bundy and his midgets?
Yeah.
And then King Kong Bundy slammed one and then jumped on him?
Yeah, it's funny because it sounds like you're saying his smidges.
His midget, his smidges of midges?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's what it was. We watched WrestleMania 3 together?
Yeah. You were like,
Was the main
you
event-
gotta check this out.
That's true. I do say shit like that.
Was it WrestleMania 3? It was Hogan and Andre, wasn't it?
There you go.
Yeah.
Steve watched that one.
That's
I think you're up to like, what, 8 WrestleManias?
no, I haven't seen 1, 2. I haven't seen the Macho
No,
Man Gauntlet WrestleMania. I haven't seen.
I didn't mean like in order, but I mean like total.
Oh gosh.
I think that's fair to say.
Oh man.
You haven't-
Probably maybe around 10 or so, because I watched a couple
Around
when
10?
they happened, and
Okay.
I have to watch them now when they happen.
Yeah. That's why I was counting all those. Like you're up to date on 3 or 4 of the last ones, I'd say. Probably 4.
Yeah, and then I was watching them in high school, and then I was renting other WrestleManias,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah. I've got a lot of WrestleMania. You said I have to start from 1 and go through it and be punished like the rest of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what's the worst one? I think the worst one's 11.
Yeah.
That one's pretty brutal.
The one where The Rock came back was pretty bad, where he was just hosting WrestleMania. I remember that being pretty terrible.
Oh yeah, that's I really didn't like that one.
WrestleMania recrap.
Yeah, that was 27.
Oh my goodness.
That was terrible. That's Miz and Cena in the main event.
But Undertaker and Triple H for the first time?
Well, yes.
First
as
important time.
quote, yeah.
Yeah.
Never mind the dead man,
Mm-hmm.
or when he's Biker Taker. That's the one I really like.
That's a good one.
But no
Hey,
more.
wait, do you think CM Punk and Undertaker are going to do their rematch this year?
No,
You don't think so?
no.
Is it going to be Lesnar?
Versus Punk?
No, versus Undertaker.
I don't know. I hope they don't just keep repeating guys with Undertaker though.
Yeah, I think you mix it up and then just give it to CM Punk at the end. Have him break the streak.
At this point, they're building guys well enough where you could have like a Bray Wyatt, you could have a Fandango.
You think so?
Sure.
Speaking of
Streak
Fandango,
versus streak.
why does The Miz look like Fandango now?
SummerSlam, he was just captivated.
Yeah?
So then on Raw, then he dressed up as
That should be a tag team. It should be Fandango and then The Miz always running around after
Miz
him trying to-
Dongful?
Miz,
Dongful.
was that the name of the woman who dances with Fandango?
No, it's Miz because he's full of dongs.
I got you.
Yeah. Speaking of guys that are just swift on their feet, this is a swift motherfucker. that
Hey,
we
he's,
got on the
this is
show.
a clever guy.
Yeah, he's clever. He's fun. We've known him from doing shows and stuff with him. So let's cut to our interview now with Christian Rosenberg, the voice of choice. We are here. We have a very special guest with us this week. We have the voice of choice. We have a man who has worked with John Morrison, Scorpio Sky, Joey Ryan, countless others. I'm sure we're going to hear many of these names. You can see him on Afterbuzz TV. You can see him with Insane Wrestling League and much, much more. Please welcome to the show, Christian Rosenberg.
Wow, that was such an intro. I feel
Oh, no adjective?
such an intro.
Yeah, it was
such an intro.
It was noun.
It was an intro.
It was noun.
I'm working on it.
Thank you for having me, guys. I'm happy to finally be here. You guys have had John Morrison on your show. You've had
It's true.
J.J. Dillon.
Yes. True.
Heath Slater.
Yes. True.
Phil Ranta.
Yeah,
Multiple times.
Multiple times.
That-
Very readily available.
That guy that was on last week. And now me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're in good company, sir.
I it's. Did everyone else call in sick or?
No, I tried to, but I couldn't get out of it. You're a very funny guy. We've known you from doing shows and stuff. See,
Yeah.
that's the thing. I have trouble doing the intro, the pre-intro, and the other part of the show, and then the actual intro when sitting
We
down.
didn't want to
But
do
yes.
we didn't want to do the intro a bunch of times on the show. So
We
we're
didn't
like,
want multiple takes of the intro.
yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
well, coming up a little bit later, we've got Christian Rosenberg, and then it's like, welcome to the show, Christian Rosenberg, and just sort of.
And now we've done it post everything. So.
But
yeah.
see, but my ego, I just love hearing the name said over and over and
Like
over.
Christian Rosenberg?
Yeah.
Christian Rosenberg.
Hey.
Christian Rosenberg.
But we've seen your show. We've done your show. Cut that promo, which you do
Yeah.
at iOS, which
Yes.
is a very funny show that you and John Morrison do.
Yeah, it's a real funny show that I got the opportunity to be doing with Morrison for a little over a year now. We do it every few months when he's available.
Right.
Because he's a little busy.
I've got a question about that show.
Okay.
I recently saw that show with Scott, and am I correct that John brought you a beer from the carnival he went to that day, and he had you drink it?
No, it wasn't from that actual carnival.
It
that
wasn't.
day.
Okay, I thought it was.
For some reason, iOS is the coolest, in my opinion, the coolest improv club in Hollywood. One of the reasons is because they have a full bar, which no other club in Hollywood does.
Good bourbon selection.
Great bourbon selection. Now, they don't necessarily always have the greatest specials in the world. That night, they had this kind of tropical beer.
It was like a chelada or something.
Something.
It's like it tastes like a clam soup, but with beer in it.
It
and
was
it's
like
spicy.
beer and tomato soup or
Yeah.
something like
and
that.
But it's spicy. It's like
it was spicy.
yeah.
And I'm not a beer guy to begin with. I know I have the gut that looks like I'm a big beer guy, but I'm not a beer guy at all.
Please, you're a 1920s bare knuckle, bare chested
It's true.
boxer. That's
It's
the
true.
shape you've got, Josh.
I got the handlebar mustache and
Yeah.
everything. So
I
He
ate
looks
the
like-
potatoes
he
and the
loo-
potatoes.
and the potatoes.
Yeah, Christian looks like a guy who would he'd be fighting your dad and like surrounded by a bunch of other dads in like a neighborhood fight club. He
That
looks
sounds
like-
about right.
Yeah, that's what he looks like.
A block party that resulted into a massive riot.
Yeah, it's like, God damn it, it's going now, and he just rips his shirt off.
But yeah, so John, who knows I don't drink beer, but for whatever reason, is like, I bought you this beer. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to try it. And of course, I'm on stage in front of everyone, so I got to try it. And it was terrible.
He was really excited about handing you that beer.
He was so excited because I had just my like Bacardi diet that I had with me, and it's like I had to rinse out my palate from that beer with the rum and diet.
Yeah, I watched. You would drink between the two because you would have to
It
rinse
was
out the beer with his Bacardi.
terrible. Needless to say, I don't think the iOS has had that beer since that night.
I wonder why.
But hey, you take chances. Some are good, some are bad.
Regardless, the show didn't suffer at all.
Regardless,
It really-
the show was
yeah,
still stellar.
It was a stellar.
It was a stellar show.
Yeah.
So you said you've been doing that show for months now.
Yeah, we've done I want to say 5 of them now, and we'll probably do another one in the fall. And because I met John a few years ago at I.O., I happened to walk by him as he was leaving classes, and I host a show there every Thursday night. So I've also in time kind of ran into The Miz, who also was taking classes because like on their off days from going on the road, they apparently were taking improv classes. And
Nerds.
I know. Such losers, right? Who does improv?
The Miz and Morrison.
Yeah.
So I started trying to like talk with them, and of course, the little fan in me was just like, "Oh my god, these guys are on TV and they're doing the stuff that I do. What's going on?" And both of them, Morrison and Miz, I told them about this idea that I have for the show, and they both were like, "Let's do it. Like, I'm in. You just got to get permission from WWE to do it first." Because Morrison at
You
the time
just
was
got to
still
climb
contracted.
Mount Kilimanjaro.
Pretty much. All you got to do
Backwards.
All
Yeah.
you got to do is hurdle Mount Everest, and then we'll be set. So I literally had a phone meeting with someone in WWE Creative years ago, presenting the idea of the Cut That Promo show to them, and explaining like what we can do. Like, this is the idea of the show. I can make a portion of the box office go to a charity of your choice. You know, like all these things to try to like muster it up.
Was this that Big Dick Johnson guy you were talking to?
No, it was a woman. So it was not Big Dick Johnson.
Okay.
I can't remember her name, honestly.
Big Gene.
I don't believe it was the woman from Total Divas
Yeah,
either.
Big Gene Gina.
But and in the end, they eventually told me that they rejected the idea because since Linda McMahon was running for Senate, and the club is 21 and up and alcohol is served, they don't know what type of things could happen with their superstars present.
what type of things
Well,
could
like
happen?
what type of things could be said, like bad language, sexual innuendos.
I'm
typical
so
things you
worried
see
that
at an
Miz and
improv
Morrison
club.
will just talk about rape over and over and over again.
I
It'll
think
just be
they're
such a pro-rape show.
They're just gonna encourage voting for rapists, and I don't feel comfortable.
We can't
So-
be pro-rape?
No.
So
Thank God that campaign is over.
yeah, I know.
Thank God.
So needless to say, the show wasn't happening. I was pretty bummed about it. Morrison was more adamant about it than Miz. And Morrison and I still kind of exchange emails a little bit every now and then. And then out of the blue...
Cat pictures?
No. Well,
Cat pictures?
yes.
Thank you.
Damn it.
But like out of the blue, like right around the end, I want to say of 2011 or 2011, I get an email out of the blue from Morrison, and is like, I'm about to take some time off. Let's do that show idea that we talked about. Since I won't be contracted, there won't be a problem. And I'm just like, holy crap, Morrison reached out to me about doing this show, and then
Cool.
went on from there.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
And it's been very successful. Yes, it's been...
We've gotten a lot of positive feedback from people who have attended live. I've posted some of them on YouTube. Different wrestling websites have been posting the videos as well. We had Joey Ryan make a surprise appearance right after his first TNA Gut Check appearance.
Oh, cool.
The week after that, the week after he got sent home, where it was like when the 87% poll, 87% of the viewers online
Right,
said you should
the
get a contract,
approval
said
rating,
no.
yeah.
The following week, we had a show. And as soon as that happened, I've worked with Joey for years, so I called him up. I'm like, is there any remote chance that you could do something like this? And he's like, I'm in. What do you want me to do? And we planned it. He ended up kicking me in the face, which wasn't very fun. In fact, I had a show later that night besides that one I did.
Right.
And the guy I was doing the show with ran to the back after it because he thought I legit got my nose broken.
Whoa.
Well, he doesn't know you've been doing this for a while, so
Yeah.
you can take a couple kicks
I
to
can
the face.
take
What a mark.
I can take a hit every now and then. Not often, but once in a while I can.
Well, yeah, when you're not active all the time, the second that you're like
Yeah,
the
exactly.
manager or something else, you take that one hit and then you're out.
Right.
But if you're active all the time, you can take several hits.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
no, it's the critical hits.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so Joey actually filmed that because Joey did this whole separate kind of web series going around promoting why he should be in TNA in the 87%. And I don't know, I still don't know to this day if it was all kind of a work and he already was signed, or if the videos that he made eventually got him signed from the popularity of them. But that whole segment of him appearing on my show with Morrison was like a big part of his little web mini series.
But
you
that's
got
like-
Joey Ryan hired by TNA.
Yeah, I think that's
like
what
to-
you're saying.
What I'm trying to say is Joey Ryan owes me everything. No,
Yeah,
no,
not a
no,
kick to the
no,
face.
No.
But that's sort of the climate now, right? It's making videos and doing your own push, sort
Doing
of
the own,
independent.
well, that's what Zack Ryder did.
Yeah.
And it worked for him for a little while.
Yeah, where is it? He
got some
is a
sweet-
noun.
He's an intro.
Yeah, he is a wrestler.
So you do that show. You also do Afterbuzz TV, which we were talking about a little bit before we started recording here. That is a network on YouTube, and it's its own podcast, and they cover everything pop culture, basically.
It's this giant podcast network. They do pretty much every major TV show, reality show, and wrestling. They do like a post show.
Is it a recap? Is it commentary?
Yeah, it's kind of a recap of them where, people kind of sit around like we are right now, talk about the show they watched and like kind of break it down, talk about things they like, didn't like. They'll sometimes have guests, whether they're other actors, people from those given shows or whatever it may be. And it gets on average probably just a little over 20 million downloads a week on iTunes, the whole network. And I mean, there are some shows that I'm sure get average in like the six figures downloads a week on iTunes. And
So if Joey Ryan were on this, you'd get him hired by WWE. Is basically what you're saying.
we passed Joey Ryan, sir. We already went past that. We're
Oh,
talking
wow.
about me, Scott Narver.
Oh, well, I
We're
figured
talking about Christian Rosenberg.
I figured
You're
you're
talking about the
content.
Christian Rosenberg Empire, the
Yes.
Afterbuzz Empire.
I
Christian
figured-
Rosenberg LLC.
I thought you wanted to be the catapult to careers.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do for you two.
Oh,
We're more of the cavalcade of chaos. I think It's sort of a sliding
We're
slope.
the panty raid of
Yeah.
of success.
More of the pop culture pop gun of curtain jerks, I think.
You're like the little poppers that you throw to the ground.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
instead of them going kapow, they go yeah.
So you're a commentator on that show. You're a host on that show.
Yes.
And you do the WWE shows. You do main events. You started at main events.
I started on main event because I originally was just filling in for somebody one week, and because a friend of mine was doing the other show, a friend of mine named Ryan Katz, who now is an associate producer for NXT. So he went from AfterBuzz to NXT, which is huge, and I'm incredibly jealous and love the guy to death. And he brought me in. I did a show. Then they asked me to fill in as a host for another show. Then about 2 weeks later, they're like, we're going to start doing main event AfterBuzz. Can you host it? And I'm like, yes, I can. And so I've done that for about 6 months. Actually, tonight, right after later on tonight, I'm filming the last main event AfterBuzz that I'll be hosting because they're moving me now to be the host of Friday Night SmackDown.
Okay.
So you're soon going to be on AfterBuzz TV after Friday Night SmackDown.
Yes.
Okay.
They were doing the SmackDown AfterBuzz on Sundays, which, was just kind of how the schedule
Almost
works.
like you could say 2 days late.
Almost 2 days later. But it's just kind of how the schedule works with all the shows that they were doing there. So they would do SmackDown Sunday, and then, of course, you have Raw Monday. So there's not a whole lot of time in between for people to
digest it.
to digest SmackDown before, let's do Raw.
And if you had a pay-per-view, then you would be sort of, why talk about SmackDown when you just want to be talking about the pay-per-view?
Which we also do. We also do the pay-per-views, too. So there would be times where you do SmackDown, and then as soon as actually just a week or so ago, I helped out on SmackDown and then watched SummerSlam and then hosted a SummerSlam pay-per-view.
So that sounds like
It was a marathon.
Yeah,
there
that's
that day. It was a
almost
marathon
7
day.
hours, 6 hours?
I was there for 9 hours that day. They were sick of me.
Taking bumps before you take some bumps.
That's right. But yeah, so we're all really excited that SmackDown's going to be now right after when SmackDown airs. So it'll be 10 o'clock Eastern time, 7 o'clock Pacific.
So don't watch Seinfeld right afterwards.
Yeah,
DVR
don't watch
Seinfeld.
the-
DVR
yeah.
Seinfeld.
Yeah.
And then,
But we know the episodes at this point. There's no reason to.
they're all about nothing.
Yeah, the contest, like they can't jerk off.
They're not
you know, you
they're
get
not
it.
gonna apologize, and they're certainly not gonna hug by the end of the episode.
But they'll
so.
be together next week.
And what will happen then? But yeah, so you can watch them live on AfterBuzzTV.com. You can watch shows live as they
That's
go
got to
on.
cost like $1,000, right?
Oh, to watch them?
Yeah.
To download them?
It sounds so expensive. It's such a great service.
What if I told you guys that you can watch or listen to them for absolutely nothing?
He's a witch.
It's a witch. Burn him. Burn him.
Yeah, all the downloads.
free.
The podcasts on iTunes are free. AfterBuzz TV, watching them live is free. And then they also will post the videos on YouTube as well.
Man.
So it's a fully functional operation. It's a ton. It's really a lot
Now
of
that's
fun.
an intro. It's a
fully
fully functional operation.
Well, speaking of
also describing
now,
WCW.
Now,
A fully functional
Yeah.
No,
operation.
I absolutely.
it is a company.
Everyone
I've
there,
watched this
everyone
show.
there
It's-
treats me great. I absolutely love it there, and I'm almost creating like a small following, which is kind of scary.
Hey, own it.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Ladies, fellas,
a little
mixture.
of both.
Oh.
I actually recently had a few people tweet me from Scotland telling me how much they love my opinions.
Yeah,
Which
how's
is-
that sound?
It's kind of crazy.
Hey, how's it feel?
It feels like I have power.
What a great opinion. Now, I understand that your boss is someone wrestling related also. And now I just heard about this recently. So who is your boss? Who owns your company?
Well, the owner of AfterBuzz, the boss of AfterBuzz, is Miss Maria Menounos
of Extra fame?
of Extra TV
And WrestleMania?
and WrestleMania,
And
Dancing
soon-
with the Stars.
Soon to be WWE Hall of Famer. Like
she-
that's just a given.
Yeah.
I mean, she probably will one day be in the celebrity wing of the Hall of Fame.
I give it 2 years.
2 years. I don't know
You think
about 2
2
years,
years?
but she
Yeah.
will be. She will be.
Think
there.
about the other. They're running out. Like they've contacted Burt Reynolds. He's like, I'm not coming back.
What did
you
Burt
know,
Reynolds
Jenna
do?
McCarthy.
They still have Cyndi Lauper. They still have Lawrence Taylor.
No, don't dare you. I dare you to say again that Jenny McCarthy is not going to be in the Hall of Fame. What did Jenny
Jenny
McCarthy?
McCarthy.
What did she do?
She walked Shawn Michaels to the ring.
So
Yep.
yeah, they're going to put her in.
No, but she,
No.
like
She's
They're gonna
she's
put
been
Maria-
petitioning to be in the Hall of Fame.
Maria Menounos is going to go in there before them. I say.
Maria Menounos is the Undertaker of the Divas. She is undefeated. Like anytime she stepped in the ring, she has won.
And she has a Sarah tattoo that's been removed from her neck.
Yes.
Oh
No.
man, Sarah. She treated everybody
She's-
poorly.
Yeah, she gets around.
And
She gets everybody to
she
tattoo
she
them.
goes down.
really hurts them.
She goes down to
breaks
the
them.
ring in a motorcycle. She's the master of the casket matches,
Yeah,
and don't step with her in boiler room brawls.
it's true. So
I wouldn't.
I
Or watch the movie Boiler Room with her.
she can't stop clapping. She's like, oh,
Giovanni.
oh, so good. Now I understand there was such a backlash at her at WrestleMania, and I sort of like, what is her relation to wrestling? Because I was always like tenuous at best. I couldn't understand.
I mean, she'd answer that question better than I could, but I know she's always been like a lifelong fan. She's always been like, I guess her family's always been fans of it, and she's
But
been
she-
friends
so
for
that seems
many,
to
many,
be-
many, many years with Bob Backlund. Like when she was like a kid,
That was
she
the
met Bob Backlund.
misconception at the Hall of Fame is that people thought that
People thought,
they
why
just got
is
a
she
name.
inducting Bob Backlund? But no, she's actually Bob Backlund is one of her dearest friends, one of her oldest friends.
this was completely lost on me. Whenever a celebrity says, I'm a lifelong fan of wrestling, I immediately go, BS. That is bullshit.
Because you got your
So
Cedric the
now
Entertainers
some of
or
them, some of
Jeremy
them are
Piven.
BS. Yeah, do you have your Jeremy Piven Summerfest? But then you have the legit ones like Maria,
Yeah.
who's, I mean, she trains. Like I've watched footage of her train in the ring.
Did you train
for
with
these
her?
matches. I did not train with her because you
Get
don't
in
want
there.
you don't want me to train. I am a terrible wrestler. That's why
Yeah,
I'm a
but she doesn't need to
commentator.
know that.
I'm
Jeff.
a
She doesn't need
Dad
to know that,
puncher,
Christian.
Dad puncher Christian Rosenberg.
That's a great ring name.
Dad
the
Puncher?
Dad Puncher Christian
Yeah.
Rosenberg.
If you want to go for alliteration, Papa Puncher.
Papa Puncher.
No.
Yeah. Well, then you got to look out for Scott Steiner, though.
Big Papa Puncher.
That's definitely TVPG-esque. So.
So she's a fan. So she's a legit
Yeah.
fan because this is her network, and obviously she wouldn't be
And
funding this if she wasn't.
She wouldn't be giving us all these WWE shows, all these opportunities. We did WrestleMania at a live podcast at the John Lovitz Comedy Club in Universal
Lovitz?
Studio. At Lovitz?
Was he there?
John Lovitz was not there.
WrestleMania.
However, we had close to like 250 people there, like watching the pay-per-view live, and then we did the podcast live after it.
Who had the most strange shirt there?
Most strained?
No, like unusual
You mean
shirt.
like a
was
guy
there
wearing
Mr. Ash
like a
shirt?
fishnet shirt or like
No, like a
wrestling
wrestling shirt.
Oh man.
You had to have seen when up there on the dais.
Well, you know, it was funny because there was this couple. They were literally the first ones in line
Okay.
to go to this thing. The guy had a Undertaker shirt on. The girl had a CM Punk shirt on.
Ooh.
And it was
contentious relationship.
and it was the girl's birthday as well.
Oh.
Okay.
So like they have, you know, while they're waiting to come in, I'm kind of like cracking jokes with them about it. But at the end of the pay-per-view and the podcast, they like came up to me and was like, we had so much fun here. You know, just so happy that like, well, she was happy because her birthday happened to fall on WrestleMania for one.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, just how much fun they had hanging out, and they didn't know what the hell Afterbuzz was, and they've since, as far as I know, have become fans and started downloading the shows, and well, that's what they told me.
So you picked up their bar tab.
No, they picked up mine.
Whoa.
Oh.
Welcome to the world.
Yes, but no, I mean it's just so cool where all of a sudden people who don't know you know, Afterbuzz stuff or don't know curtain jerks or you know whatever, all of a sudden they learn about it, they pick it up, and all of a sudden you'll get tweets or messages be like, oh, this is so cool. Why have I not found this sooner? And
Because of rate and reviews on iTunes. That's why. Rate and review the show. Oh, I'm sorry.
I was gonna try to combine AfterBuzz with curtain jerks, and all I
Well-
came up with curtain jerks.
Well, we always on the
Curtain
AfterBuzz. I've been the self-proclaimed Segway champion of the world on AfterBuzz because I always find a way to segue into telling people to subscribe.
Oh,
on
I just
iTunes
assumed you
and give them
just
5
showed up
star.
on a Segway. Like,
And I just
you
came
went,
in on a
You went
Segway.
from show to show.
Yes, I do. I
Yeah.
do that. I have a whole entrance ramp, and I come down on the Segway. I'm
A
Simon
little
Dean.
bit backwards,
I'm
a little
Simon
bit forward,
Dean.
a little backwards, a little bit forward.
But yeah, so I mean, we always need people to give like the 5-star rating, subscribe, and leave comments and stuff, as I'm sure Curtain Jerks would like as well. So
Subscribe.
So that's why I'm going to tell everyone right now to like and subscribe Curtain Jerks and give 5-star ratings and leave comments about what you would like to see Scott and Steve wear while they record the podcast.
Ooh. I like that.
That's the voice of choice right there,
That
telling
is.
you how it is.
Yeah.
So you've done that show. You've done that show. You've also been a referee.
I have stepped in the ring with stripes for a few years.
You've hung your stripes up.
Yeah, the stripes are done. I started as a commentator,
Okay.
and then
For who? Like, how did that start? How did that break come about where you're probably in the back?
Oh, the life story. All right. Well, no, when I moved to California in 2005.
Okay.
And at the time, I was writing like editorial columns for various wrestling websites. That was kind of like my first thing that I was doing in wrestling. I was just writing columns on what I was watching on TV. Mm-hmm. They were called From the Couch, like the regular fan's perspective, because I had absolutely no inside knowledge whatsoever. I'm just going my opinions on what I saw.
Right.
And
You're like an anthropologist.
kind of, yeah. And apparently, the reviews were pretty good.
You were saying like, oh man, Scotty Too Hotty, he's the best, and Kenzo Suzuki, boo, that guy's foreign.
I don't recall writing those, but
okay.
but
I just Google searched real quick and just found
that's
that.
what you found.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Oh, maybe I did write it. I don't know. I was drunk at the time. And
From the couch.
From the couch. I was drunk from the couch.
From the couch to you.
Yeah. And when I moved to California, one of the main websites that I was writing for,
Lords of Pain?
Not Lords
Declaration
of
of
Pain.
Independence.
It was not.
411 Mania?
Nope.
PW Insider?
Nope.
Torch.
Nope. Pick another one.
Pig and Whistle.
No. It was actually for the website nodq.com.
Oh, okay.
And the guy who runs the website, turned out where I was moving was like 15 minutes from where he lived. So it was kind of like, hey, let's meet up, because they were also doing an internet talk show about wrestling. Now, this was before YouTube.
So before the internet.
Before the internet existed.
Before podcasts too, right? Or,
Yeah, pretty much before podcasts were just starting.
So
Right,
you
it wasn't
were
a thing
you were putting things on the internet for scientists in the military
Yeah,
to read.
pretty much. I was putting things on the internet solely for people. If you only went to that website, you would be able to watch it. Mm-hmm. And there was a guy who apparently watched it, like the first one I was on, and he was about to start a show out here, and he was like, "Can you be a commentator for me?" I was like, "Oh my God, yes." And I've never been to an indie show before at this point. So the guy tells me he's got this 5,000 seat stadium in City of Industry that he's about to put on this show. It's his first show. And in my mind, I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm already in the big time.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
this is going to be like this huge deal. All of a sudden, I'm going to come. I've been in California for a couple months, and I'm going to call a match for nearly 5,000 people. 36 people went to that show.
Yeah. Who headlined?
They actually had names. They had Christopher Daniels, Aaron Aguilera, Davey Richards, Oliver John. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
I think after the first guy, I sort of blanked.
You don't know Aaron Aguilera?
No.
He was Jesus. He was Carlito's bodyguard.
Oh, the tall guy.
The tall
Hardcore
guy.
kid in
The hardcore kid, yes.
UPW. Big fan of that guy.
And so I was there for about 12, 13 hours. I helped set up the ring, and which I've never done before. Like
You weren't going. I'm the commentator.
Like, I'm
What?
the commentator here. I'm not going to do a damn thing. Where's my trailer?
Evian, please.
But I mean, I was there, helped set the ring up, tear it down, met the guys, just in a whole new world, and
Hit the showers.
hit the showers with the guys. That was weird, and
Because you wore your suit the whole
because
time.
I wore the suit the entire time, and I got paid $25 for the
What?
12, 13 hours I was there.
I was
Nice.
so gonna guess that you got paid in tacos or something unusual like that.
Hey,
I know, I
Christian,
did-
we're going to hit the taco truck. I figured I could pay you
I
for
got
your
like
trouble.
I got like snack-sized bags of Doritos and $25.
And the $25.
I know, it was lucrative.
That is lucrative shit.
But again, so like from there, then I met other people at that show, and they were like, "Hey, we want you to come over here or go over there." But there wasn't a whole lot of commentating going on yet because YouTube wasn't really around,
Right.
and like, where can we have commentary? What's the point of the commentary unless you're there and they just do it live?
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't really finding much work. I go to a charity show in Pico Rivera just because some friends were going there. I'm just kind of hanging out, helping out in the back. And the show ran late, and the referee had to leave to go to another show. So all of a sudden, the guy running it is like, "Hey, can you ref?"
I think he meant like this. Hey, kid.
Yeah. Hey, kid. Yeah. Hey, kid. Can you ref? And I'm like, I've never done it before, but I could try. He tossed me a ref shirt. Like, talk to the guys in the back. You have 15 minutes before the next match.
Nice.
Man.
And I went in there. I'm sure I did terrible. Because, I mean, I'm reffing in the ref shirt and jeans.
Oh, were you
mind
counting to 7?
Instead of 3, I counted to 8. and what was great was I did 2 matches, and the second match, there had to be a ref bump. in the match. Which, again, this is my first time in a ring, period.
Right.
Other than setting up, I wasn't even in the ring. And now I'm in the ring, and now they want me to take some type of bump. So I'm thinking, oh, they're just going to punch me, and I'm going to, like, fall down. The guy grabs me when it's time, and he's like,
Who was this? Who grabbed you?
He's a wrestler. Well, he's now more of a personality out here. He goes by the name of the Stepdaddy. He's actually...
What? The stepdaddy?
Do you know the Stepdaddy?
No, but I'm saying, here's the
dad puncher and the stepdaddy.
Oh, yes.
I think this
No,
feud has been culminating.
that is a born feud.
This is
actually
Freudian right here.
He's actually one of my closest wrestling friends.
That's how it starts.
That's how it starts, and I still make fun of him to this day.
Get ready
about
for
this.
that barbershop window.
Yes. So he grabs me and he goes, "I'm gonna suplex you," and I'm like, "What?" Like I've never taken a bump, let alone a suplex. How the hell am I gonna do this? He's like, "Just follow me." I'm like, "Okay."
Oh, man.
So he suplex. Now he's about
Snap suplex?
No, it was not a snap suplex. He's about
Ooh.
6'4". He's a little taller than me, and he was bigger at the time. He's lost a lot of weight now, and I'm jealous of him for doing that. So he lifts me up and suplexes me. I get up and down. I don't feel a thing on my back. I don't feel a thing on my legs, but his head crashes on my arm, and like my elbow is in excruciating pain. And I'm just like,
That's my counting hand.
I'm like, this is wrestling. And he was apologizing profusely afterwards. And I always bring it up to him, like as a joke. Whenever he talks about things, I'm like, yeah, hey, remember that time where you decided to give a suplex to a ref when he'd never been in the ring before?
That's so intense to start.
I know.
A suplex.
Yeah.
Not a splash in the corner.
Not a punch. Not
not
a
a knock off the apron.
Not a you're on the ground and an elbow to your back or something.
suplex.
A suplex.
And remember, I'm 6'1", he's 6'4".
So did you keep your legs together at the top?
I have no idea.
Did he hold it?
No, he just pretty much brought me up and brought me down.
Oh man.
And so I mean, I don't know how I don't know how it looked, but I'm sure I could have been in a lot worse pain than I was. And needless to say, at the end of that day, the guy who was running that little fundraiser show, he's like, "I got a show next week. You want a ref?" I'm like, okay. And then
Suplexes.
I'm like, no suplexes. And then over the next 3 years, I ref for him. I ref for PWG. I ref for almost all the wrestling companies out here. And then finally, YouTube was starting to go forward, and more people were starting to add commentary, and it's just like, this is what I'm better at. I like to talk obnoxiously. Let me do that and not risk my body, because I got hurt a lot as a ref, which is pretty sad. But
Refs are the last great enemy in the wrestling
Aren't
world.
they?
Yeah.
and so,
I want to see a match. I want to see a WrestleMania match that starts and goes through all the paces, and then someone's in a submission move, and I want to see the ref get too close, and the person punches the ref so they can tap, and then they don't lose the match.
I dislocated my shoulder reffing once.
Were you counting too hard?
No, a guy was supposed to put me in a Fujiwara arm bar, and decided, no, I'm going to put him in a cross arm breaker instead. Didn't tell me. And naturally, now this is also partially my fault, because I was suggesting the idea, and obviously I've only had very, very minimal training at the time. So my body naturally was trying to fight shooting backwards like he set it up, and my shoulder popped out and back in like right away.
Oh,
yeah, fun stuff.
like Lethal Weapon.
Yes. And so it was just like,
And fast
I'm getting
forward.
beat up way too easily as a referee. It's like, I belong commentary. I'll be a better commentator than a referee. And some shows started to do it, like IWL started adding commentary. Actually, the last show I ever reffed was IWL. And I was reffing a couple matches. I was not scheduled to ref the main event, but I saw they had commentary set up. And they were just having a different guy kind of pop in with the commentary like every match.
Like a kissing booth. You could just come up, pay a couple
Pretty
bucks,
much. And
announce a match.
they pretty much made out during the match.
Nice. I
Lots
like
of-
this IWL.
Lots of tongue involved. It's great. So I go to the guy who runs IWL. His name is Vic Luna, and I asked him, like, since I'm not, working the main event, am I able to just kind of step on commentary? He's like, well, if nobody else is going over there, fine. And nobody else did, so I just kind of sat there and did play-by-play for the match.
Nice.
2 days later, he emailed me. He's like, you're not reffing for me anymore. You're the commentator.
Nice.
And next show I did the commentary. Then after that, another place that I was reffing for, he's like, "You're not reffing for me anymore. You're going to be the commentator." And then another one.
So
did
word
the same
spread.
Thing. Word spread.
So you do play-by-play? You don't prefer to be the color commentator?
You know, I do both. It depends on the place.
So you fight with yourself?
I do them both at the same time.
Well, that seems like a good decision there by
It's
the
like-
ref for an idiot.
That's exactly what I do. Now, the IWL, I'm a play-by-play guy, and then there's this other wrestling company called Alpha Omega Wrestling up in Palm Desert, where I'm the heel color commentator.
Okay.
And I absolutely love being a part of both worlds at the same time.
Uh-huh.
Because IWL, I'm the good guy, and people like me, and they respect me. They like listening to the commentary. At Alpha Omega Wrestling, I'm one of the most hated guys in the building. They, instead of calling me Rosenberg, they chant Rosie to get under my skin. And
As in O'Donnell?
As in O'Donnell. That's why I'm offended by it, because I feel like they're calling me Rosie O'Donnell. And I'm not Rosie O'Donnell.
She doesn't have a show anymore.
No. And she's a
not relevant.
woman, kinda. So, so I absolutely love going
And
there.
I hate Broadway.
What did she do on Broadway, honestly?
I
Grease.
don't know.
Oh,
Does she really?
What?
She did, well, no, she didn't grease people on
Oh, I
Broadway.
thought- I
she
thought she
did
was
the show
in
Grease.
Grease.
Yeah.
Oh,
God,
I-
these wings are so narrow. We have to grease them up to get them on stage.
What was
Yunk.
But yeah, so I love doing both of those places. When combining those with Afterbuzz, my voice keeps busy because I do a lot of talking.
Right.
But I love every second of it. I mean, end of September will mark 8 years that I've been physically involved in wrestling.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That is very cool.
Yeah. So, almost 8 and still learning lots and lots of things, which you should be, because the second you feel like, oh, I've learned everything, then get the hell out of the business.
Right.
Because you don't belong.
So you mentioned, 8 years coming up, and you have a show coming up.
I have a show this Sunday.
This Sunday for Insane Wrestling League, correct?
Yeah, Insane Wrestling. You guys have been kind enough the last few shows to plug it per an email that I wrote that you literally read verbatim.
Well, yeah, I mean, we wanted to have you on the show, but scheduling wise, it didn't work out and stuff. So I wanted to plug the show.
Oh, let's have John Morrison again, but not that Christian Rosenberg guy.
Look, we want we want
Sometimes
really
he
famous
talks
people.
in that voice, and it's like, yeah.
We want to get as many famous people as we can
I'm
on the
JJ
show.
Dillon. I'm a WWE Hall of Famer.
To
Christian
not
who?
promote it at all, to not tweet about it. Those are the type of people we want to get. Big names that want
That
no
will do
affiliation
nothing.
with it afterwards.
Awesome.
Heath Slater, JJ Dillon, John Morrison, just that won't tweet, that won't acknowledge in any way. But we're gonna try this.
Big name brick walls.
We're gonna try a super friendly guy who's really funny, and then
super
we'll
friendly
then,
comedian who's a wannabe commentator.
hey, you're doing it.
I am doing it. I am
The
trying to do
wannabe
it.
commentators, you know where they are?
Where are they?
Sitting from their couch,
Oh,
wannabe commentating,
look at that.
and they're not doing it.
That was a callback.
Yes.
We know that because we're improvisers.
So tell us about the show you got coming up this Sunday.
So the Insane Wrestling League is this wrestling company that, as I kind of talked about earlier, I've been a part of for almost 3 years now. And they've been getting bigger and bigger and bigger. They used to start, literally, were considered a backyard fed. They literally started in a backyard many years ago.
Really?
And people just feel like, this is a joke, this isn't real wrestlers.
The light bulb stuff, all that kind of stuff too, or just they were had to set up in a backyard?
I think they used some of that stuff too.
Okay.
And
But they grew past it.
they grew past it, and Vic was like, no, we got something legit here. And it started building more and more and more. And now, a few months ago, John Morrison was on our show, wrestling. I mean, we got guys. This particular show that we have this Sunday, Michael Elgin from Ring of Honor is going to be there. The Young Bucks are currently our tag team champions.
Cool.
There's this new tag team that the Young Bucks are facing from, I believe they're from Canada. They're called Monster Mafia.
Monster Mafia.
I'm honestly not too familiar with them yet, but as soon as the match was announced, Twitter went nuts saying this is a dream match that people have been waiting for.
Really?
So clearly these guys got to be pretty damn good.
Sounds
Okay.
like it.
And the New Age Punisher B-Boy, who will be facing Michael Elgin, who people know from Pro Wrestling Guerrilla and CZW, and he's
I
wrestled in
used to see
Japan.
B-Boy. Yeah, he was in UPW as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Joey Ryan will be there as well.
Oh, all right.
And a bunch of other guys that have really been growing here in Southern California. And the coolest thing is, besides obviously the live crowd that's there, we don't put the matches on YouTube. So then you're thinking, well, Christian, why are you there commentating? What's the point? Well, we do it on internet pay-per-view and Roku.
Oh,
the Roku. The Roku is a magnificent machine.
I was gonna say love of the game.
The love of the game, just for the atmosphere.
Love
just
of the game.
But yeah, we have over 5,000.
You watch for the love of the game and replace the audio with Christian
me!
Rosenberg
Yes!
commentating.
So
Take that, Costner.
We have over 5,000 subscribers on our Roku network. So we've started now doing like a weekly TV show solely for the Roku network.
That's awesome.
Like in a weekly hour show to build up the storylines, and then your big events like this one this Sunday is IWL's WrestleMania. It's called New Era 8, so it's their 8th year.
Okay.
And
8 for 8. Look at this.
Look at that. It's their 8th anniversary. It's soon to be my 8th anniversary. It's just all worked together.
It's very simpatico.
Yes. And so our last big show live on Roku, we had over 3,500 viewers live over Roku and internet pay-per-view, plus the loud, crazy crowd that was in attendance.
And it's going to boost in Scotland, I hear.
And apparently Scotland's going to love it. And Scotland, UK, Russia, you guys.
Hey, we got a lot of listeners overseas, the UK listenership.
We're
not big in America by any means.
Well, I mean, you can watch it live on Roku and internet pay-per-view for $3.
$3.
It's over 3 hours of wrestling for $3.
I can't even buy chicken nuggets for $3.
I lost $3.
So, I mean, you can literally, if you're local, obviously we want you to go. It's in Monrovia, California. We want you to be there live because obviously, like the WWE says, there's nothing like seeing it live.
Right.
Same goes with IWL because Joey Ryan is in a match for our Anarchy title against a gentleman named Eric Cross.
You have an Anarchy title?
It's the Anarchy title, which
I love this.
Which is pretty much kind of like the equivalent of like a hardcore title. There's no rules.
No, it's not.
No.
It's above the hardcore title. An Anarchy title?
Guys, Anarchy, it's not about chaos. It's about not being underneath the yoke of oppression, okay?
Well, you got to just see the title to begin with because the title alone, I don't know who Vic got to design it, but it's one of the coolest championship titles I've ever seen.
We'll get that picture and then we'll post it on our Facebook.
Well, I'll definitely get you that picture.
This Anarchy title.
The Anarchy title. Then the IWL Championship, the main title, is between the current champion Johnny Suave, who won the title at last year's New Era.
I've seen Johnny Suave.
And he's defending against Ray Rosas.
That guy's awesome.
You know Ray Rosas
from Hollywood.
Yes, Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, who was the Anarchy champion for over 500 days. Wow. And just lost it about a month ago.
Well, after 500 days, you get cocky.
But then became the #1 contender for the championship. And that's going to be a ladder match.
Oh.
Wow.
For
$3?
Just those two matches
the
alone.
The wrestlers don't know this, right? That
it's only $3?
Yeah, we're charging $3. This is a steal.
And I mean, that's just two matches. Then, like I said, you have that tag title match with the Young Bucks and the Monster Mafia. You have first time ever B-Boy and Michael Elgin. Mm-hmm. You got
and those guys
Willie Mack. You know Willie Mack, right? He's wrestling there too. Lots and lots of great
what time
young
does it
wrestlers. It starts. The pre-show begins at 4:30 Pacific time on Sunday, which you can watch. The pre-show you can watch for free on theiwl.com, and then you can go stream into the main show at 5 o'clock. The pre-show will have what we do is another title that we have is called the Breakout title, which is for like the young up-and-comers.
For the teens.
Yeah, for the teens, for the boy bands.
The young adult title.
For the people questioning
the Christopher Pike
their
title,
adolescence.
the R.L. Stein title.
But yeah, so we got so we always have a #1 contender match for that Breakout title in the pre-show, and then the following show, whoever won that match will be on the show in the Breakout title match. So we have a fatal 4-way for our pre-show for the #1 contender for the Breakout title. That's absolutely free.
Fatal
and 4 ways. So it's really a tremendous show. I have tons of fun doing it. It's a stacked show.
And like you said, it's their WrestleMania.
It's IWL's WrestleMania. It's their biggest show of the year.
So if you're going to get in on it,
This is when you want to get in. And you want to join the cult following that has become of the IWL. Watch the show and you'll become hooked and want to start watching the weekly Roku shows as well as future internet pay-per-views and all that.
Very cool.
This is awesome. So so check that out. Obviously, we gotta follow Christian on
Please follow me
Twitter.
on Twitter. I need more followers because I'm needy.
Are we beating you? Let me see. If we're
Are you?
beating
I don't know.
We might be.
I don't know. I got 800 something.
We got 994.
Oh, that's
You got
bullshit.
828.
Can I swear on here?
Yeah.
That's bullshit. See Rosie VOC. I want everyone that's following Curtain Jerks to follow me, please, because I'll be really nice to you. And get Wrestling Memes to follow me, too, because I love Wrestling Memes, and I know that he loves you.
he does like us.
Wrestling Memes, I love your stuff. Follow me, please.
So
You're gonna suddenly there's gonna be a lot of there's gonna be a lot of pictures of Christian Rosenberg with white text at the bottom.
I love it. Bring it. I want memes.
Do you want the Brazzers?
Do I want Brazzers to follow me?
Does Brazzers follow us on Curtain Jerks?
No, but
Actually,
some of those memes.
No, here's the
he
surprising
doesn't
thing.
do those. He doesn't like do it. Too easy.
Oddly enough, it's funny that you mention that. I actually have several porn stars that follow me on Twitter.
Name a couple.
I don't know. If
Obviously you don't think they're
Oh.
people because you don't know their names.
No, I just don't
What do you
wanna-
got? Your Stoyas, your Sasha Grays, your
Jasmine St. Clair's.
yeah, your Felicity Vaughns.
No, I got one named Josie Valentine.
your
One,
Riley Masons, your Roxy DeVilles, your
Lexington Steels.
Lexington Steele.
your
yes.
Peter Norths, your
North.
James Dean.
Peter North, a huge fan of mine.
Yeah, huge something. Yeah.
But no, I guess
You
guess porn stars are wrestling fans apparently.
Well, then
And
I
they're-
want your porn star followers to start following us.
Tell you what, you get your followers to follow me. I'll get my porn star followers to follow you. Deal?
Guys, honestly, neither of you can promise. Neither of you can fucking deliver.
I guarantee as many as the show costs for Insane Wrestling League. 3. I guarantee you 3.
You guarantee me 3 new followers.
I guarantee you 3 new followers.
If I don't
from
get-
Curtain Jerks. Tell them.
If I don't get 3, you know what I'm gonna do?
credit.
You
Need
know,
the credit.
this is what I'm gonna do because I'm such a nice guy, as you guys know.
I don't trust it. This is like Bobby Heenan saying this.
This is Bobby Heenan. Yes. No, I actually a while ago I've even made Christian Rosenberg T-shirts, which I've actually sold several of them.
Weird.
to the immediate family, right?
To my sister and my brother. No, like I actually last week I just mailed another one to Montana. People are buying T-shirts of a commentator. Don't ask me why, but they are. I have
There goes my follow-up
That's
question.
because it's the world we live in.
yeah. But I have a few left. Tell you what I'm going to do for your loyal listeners.
Okay.
If I get 10 followers from that are Curtain Jerk followers that like follow me and tweet me saying like
Curtain Jerk
I
sent
learned
me.
that Curtain Jerk sent me, the 10th follower I will mail a T-shirt to.
A free T-shirt.
A free T-shirt.
So what's to stop people from waiting to be for 7, 8, 9 and then be 10?
Because they won't know.
Well, because when is
On
this
their, like, they
when
won't
does this
know.
show go up? Does it go up on Wednesday or Thursday or Friday or
like Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday? So within
It's gonna be Thursday or Friday. I think
it'll be Thursday or Friday. So we'll give it up to a week.
Okay.
Up to a week.
All right.
And
Send
At
them.
the end of the following week's Impact Wrestling,
Yes.
which is, I guess,
Which
not
is
covered
probably
by
taped.
AfterBuzz TV.
No, screw them.
Not yet.
That seems like the most-
No, it won't be.
Is it the Menounos connection?
Well, partially.
Oh.
I mean, part of it is, I mean, you know, we're affiliated kind of with WWE, not TNA, and also, I mean, there are a handful of great wrestlers on TNA.
Oh, you are heading towards blasphemy. I can just feel it.
There are a handful of awesome
Do you know
wrestlers
how
that'd be
hard
great in
Joseph
WWE.
Park has been trying?
Joseph Park's one of my favorite on TNA.
I mean,
Yeah, and
Joseph
he's
Park's one
really,
of my
really
favorite on
trying.
he's
TNA.
pulling
to
it
be-
out every week.
He is in the Bound for Glory. He's really trying to be a good wrestler. He's trained.
And the
No,
fact
but
that he has
but
that
they're
affliction
repeating-
with his
They're
blood.
repeating 2000, 2001 WCW storylines in TNA.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's when WCW was terrible.
they're doing them better. They're doing them
You're right.
slightly
New
better.
Blood Millionaires Club, Aces and Eights main event Mafia. Why not?
Ryback's got an Aces and Eights vest too now.
And with Stone Cold skulls on it.
Yeah. It's all fine.
It's all a pastiche.
Steal from yourselves. It's all good.
Eh.
But a free T-shirt for the 10th
For the
follower
10th
that
10th new
follows
follower that-
C Rosie VOC.
And that tweets me and says like I found you from Curtain Jerks.
All right, that's a free shirt. You'd be an idiot to not do it. You'd also be an idiot to not pay $3, or if you have
Yes.
a Roku, get the show for
That's
free
more important than
from
the free
Insane
T-shirt.
Wrestling League. So that's theiwl.com.
TheIWO.com. You can get all the details on that. If you don't have a Roku, you can also get on Internet Pay-Per-View. It works on Macs and PCs. We got a guy who, we call him the Audio MacGyver. His real name's John, but we call him the Audio MacGyver. This guy single-handedly has got IWO on Roku, has figured out the i-pay-per-views. He doesn't have a whole network. He doesn't have a group of people. It's just him and the stuff that he has to figure it out, and he's done it.
Well, I hope I can watch it with my Commodore 64 and that hose I attached to the.
It will also be on Laserdisc.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, wonderful. You got to flip it though, right?
Yes, you got to flip it over.
Okay.
And we'll have audio cassettes of it too.
Well, so get exposed to Southern California wrestling if you're not already doing it. And I know a lot of you overseas.
Indie wrestling as a whole too. Independent wrestling anywhere.
Yeah,
because
but
that's where all the guys. That's where the guys you see on TV. That's where they start.
Exactly.
That's where they need the support.
Yes.
Joey Ryan, you didn't know a couple of years ago until he came to TNA. Like you might have heard the name, but then you see him on TV and you're exposed.
Daniel Bryan, Antonio Cesaro. I actually had the pleasure of working with several years ago before he got called up.
Yeah.
Which was really cool.
Did you guys stay in a hotel together? And
Well,
you
no,
just
I mean,
decided
I
to sleep on the floor because he's so tough.
I reffed one of his matches. That's the equivalent of what I'm saying.
Okay.
Working with, but
WWE likes to talk about how tough he is by sleeping on the floor with no blankets or anything.
I don't think he really sleeps on the floor.
He's a tough guy.
Does he drive in a car without a seat? That'd be pretty tough.
That'd be awesome. Actually, Ricardo Rodriguez, he's a friend of mine. I worked with him for years.
Mm-hmm.
And now obviously he's doing his thing, hanging out with RVD.
Yes,
and
that's true.
there's some guys down in NXT right now that I've had the pleasure of working with. Actually, a newcomer that will be there on soon named Sean Ricker, who was on The Hero with The Rock.
Yes.
I worked with
Sean
him for
Ricker's
years out
great.
here. He's a fantastic wrestler. So happy that he's there. And yeah, I mean, it's so cool seeing guys that I've actually worked with all of a sudden get to WWE or TNA.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, that is badass. When's my turn?
Well, that's what's coming.
That's what's coming.
So you need
damn
a
it.
couple more followers.
Yeah, only a few more.
Only a few more. Once you break 1,000, then the world opens up to you.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, that's what I hear. That's what I'm hoping for when we almost break 1,000.
It's the
hopefully
Twitter
by the end of the
slipstream.
weekend.
Well, you know, I actually just recently found out. You know how WWE, you know how they show like, oh, this is trending on Twitter or whatever.
Yeah.
They just make those up.
Well, no. if 1,000 people mention it, then it's trending.
Oh.
If, I guess technically it just has to be 1,000. Now, like 2 minutes later, then it could just fall off again.
Right.
Obviously, you want it to be consistent. But if you reach at least 1,000, then it's considered trending.
They always. It's funny about that because they always seem to be about 5 minutes after the segment on Raw. They're like, "Oh, look what's trending now." It's like, hey, but you know, we're now on a new segment that's about to be trending in 5 minutes. I'm just saying, guys.
But then the interesting thing is like then when that airs on the West Coast, and those are trending, so then people go on to that's when people go on to Twitter. It's like it's not trending. Well, it was when it first aired.
That's right. Spoilers.
Yes.
So follow Christian Rosenberg
Please
at
do.
CRosieVOC. Get the pay-per-view at www.theiwl.com or on Roku and check it out. And Afterbuzz.
AfterbuzzTV.com.
And you can find it on iTunes
And you can
well.
find all of them on iTunes. Like I said, I host a Total Divas one, which is kind of hilarious. And then I'm starting the Friday Night SmackDown. And like I said, it's either starting this week or next week. We're going to begin an NXT Afterbuzz, which I will also be hosting.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
So there you go. Thank you, Christian Rosenberg,
Thank you
for
guys
being
so
on
much
the
for
podcast.
having
Thanks
me.
for joining us.
So there you have it. There was our interview with Christian Rosenberg, the voice of choice. So if you choose his voice, go to audible.com and choose Christian Rosenberg.
Does he have a book?
He better.
Yeah, he's got the
Dropper.
He's got the know-how.
No, he didn't actually drop that many names. That's all in conversation before and afterwards.
Yeah,
But he's worked with people. That's
Yeah.
the fun part. We'd love to have him back on the podcast.
He's a good. You know what's
We
interesting?
want to scratch the surface. This guy's got more stories.
You rarely meet people that are not wrestlers who have such an aspiration and sort of know-how for the business. I feel like he
Yes.
doesn't want to be a wrestler, but he wants to be a part of that community and a part of that business.
Yeah. It's a good, wholesome thought process.
Just like us, we're kind of like the fringes of the internet, the fringes of wrestling, like sort of like if you're playing a Fallout game and you go to some enclave and it's some sort of tiny barter town, me and Scott, we're like the two guys who are selling roasted geckos on the side of the road on the way into town.
Yeah.
Hungry? Get yourself some radioactive gecko.
You got your Ultimate Warrior running to the ring, and he's all the glitz and glamour, and he's got his muscles, bulging, and the veins popping, and the makeup on his face is just
You need guys
glistening.
to tie those tassels.
Yeah, we're those tassel tires.
Tassel tires.
Mm-hmm. That's us. So it is time for Jerk Tweets. Each week, go to twitter.com/curtainjerks and send us your hashtag jerk tweets. This week, we got Johan Bennett asking, any thoughts on this? Tips for new WWE fans. Hashtag fuck you, Steve.
Oh man, that's a new hashtag, isn't it?
There's many variables
Really?
on how they come in.
My favorite is "fuck you, Aleve." Nobody needs naproxen. It's a little too long, but
that's yours that you're really pushing out there. Any thoughts on tips for new WWE fans? I would say go to a show.
go to a live event.
Go to a live event. Go to a live WWE event. Whether if you can go to a Raw or a SmackDown or something like that or a pay-per-view, cool. Try and go to a house show and go to an indie show. Go to a local indie show.
Do you think the order is important? Going to an indie show first or going to a WWE show first?
No. I
would say go to an indie show first.
You say go first?
Because I feel like one of the problems with going to WWE or a very big show like that and then going to an
I see where
indie
you're going.
show
Yes.
is you feel like all the move sets and things, you associate ownership with moves to WWE.
Oh, that was an RKO.
Exactly.
Oh,
And if you see it in an indie
that
show
was a Stone Cold
first,
Stunner.
if you see it in an indie show first, you'll be sort of impressed by actually seeing somebody execute it. And you'll get to be closer, and you'll get to experience it a little bit better than if you were in the rafters or the
it's an
nosebleeds.
intimate setting.
Yeah.
And you'll get an appreciation for it and see the up-and-coming guys, because a year or two down the line, you may go, wait a minute, I saw that guy. And then he's on TV.
I think, well, you know what an indie does? An indie show usually sort of ups the horsepower a little bit. So they really roar through matches, and it seems really, like, ferocious, I think.
And they're trying to make you a fan.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to sell. And a
They're
WWE
trying to get you
live
to walk
event,
away and
yeah,
learn their name.
Yeah, the live event in WWE is all about the spectacle. It's huge. They're
Yeah.
doing that sort of giant comic book stuff. But you watch it closer at an indie show, and it's fast, and it's furious, and it's ferocious.
Yeah, I'd say that would be, and you know what also? Enjoy it for as long as you can and don't get jaded about it.
Yeah, stay positive.
Stay
really
positive.
Don't listen to the criticism. Just sort of try to think of what the best thing they got going for it, you know?
Yeah, because there's always going to be stuff that stinks or it's not funny or it's whatever.
Don't read the dirt sheets. Do
Yes.
not read spoilers.
We'll do that for you, and then we'll give you the dirt.
Yeah, if you don't read spoilers, then it'll actually seem like a really good... you want to take it?
Nope. That's my phone ringing, and that's my boss. So, Steve
That'll be an edit.
Yeah. No, it won't. We're keeping that.
Oh, are we?
Yep.
Okay.
Steve Dez TV says, if you guys could have changed the F back in WWF, to which letter and what's the meaning? Hashtag fuck you, Steve Sears.
Oh, Steve Dez. Even him? Oh,
Even
man.
him. This one
Congratulations
confuses
on your showcase, dick.
me. This one confuses me. Because I don't really know what this means. I've
I
read
don't
this
even know
several
if Dez
times.
did a showcase, but I know he's fucking working all the time.
If you guys could have changed the F back in WWF, to which letter and what's the meaning?
So instead of it being WWF, it can be WWE, WWP,
Ah.
WWX.
Well, okay. So World Wrestling.
Champions. I'm surprised they didn't do championship.
World Wrestling Championship.
Yeah,
Is that what you
World
would-
Wrestling Champion. Or WWE World Wrestling.
I'd make it World Wrestling Conglomerate, but with a K, with a Russian theme.
Ooh, well, I like the K. That's a K. The Ks that are back to back.
Yeah, those
are
are good
pretty cool.
Ks.
Yeah, those are good.
solid Ks. And then Jacko15021976 says, if you could put a ref into the WWE Hall of Fame, who would it be? I'd probably go Mike Chioda on this one, because that guy can go. Like, that guy, he's been doing it for a long time. He's really good. The way he sold that Brock Lesnar and Big Show breaking the ring,
Yeah.
like that was Chioda.
Well, that was because somebody dropped a cow on his house. You know, the ring is his house.
It is his house. But
He invites people in to wrestle in his living room.
I'd say without a question, like it's Chioda. It's not Nick Patrick. It's not Chad Patton. It's not the Asian ref. It's not
Who's the bad guy WCW ref?
Nick Patrick.
Yeah.
I'm not doing him. I'm not even going Christian Rosenberg. I know he was a ref for a while. No, not doing him either.
All right.
I'm going Mike Chioda.
I
don't care.
The names you mentioned are a few, the only ones that I barely know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So,
Excuse me.
what?
Excuse me.
Oh, I'm
right
sorry.
behind you. I'm right behind you.
Yeah, I felt someone tugging at my shirt.
I'm down here.
Down
Down here. Hey, down here.
Yeah, it's Earl Hebner, everybody. Earl Hebner's here.
Thank you. I'll just crawl up on your lap. Excuse me. Okay. All right. Just
Earl, can we help you?
I'll just sit here on your lap and I'll talk into the microphone.
Earl Hebner is here, current TNA referee. I guess
and future Hall of Fame. What?
Can you please repeat that?
Future Hall of Fame. What?
I'll translate for those at home. A future Hall of Famer.
No, you almost said it like I did.
Hey, I did. You infected my brain, Earl. You
called some of the best matches out there.
You didn't call them.
I called them when I said they were over.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess you did that. I was thinking of a commentator.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yes.
The Rock.
Well. Yeah.
Triple H.
Okay.
And The Rock.
That's a Chinese.
Mick Foley.
That's a Chinese cooking instrument. The Rock.
The Rock.
The Rock.
The Rock.
It's like when we ordered Thai food. I was trying to order Radnar, and she said Ladnar.
Oh, Radnar.
No. Oh, okay. Earl, I suppose you want to be in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Radnar with Twist Status as the manager.
I suppose you want to be in the WWE Hall of Fame.
One will be, I deserve to be.
Well, you got in a bit of trouble, and no one's forgiven you on their end yet.
What are you talking about?
You screwed Brett.
Why do we always have to talk about this when I come on the show, okay?
Look, look, everybody else made peace.
Like, the only thing people know me for is Survivor Series.
You sell T-shirts.
I screwed Brett. I screw bread.
You screw bread?
I screw soft bread.
Earl, that's not something I don't think I'm very interested in hearing about.
I can show you a picture.
I don't want to see a picture of you screwing bread.
I can show you a picture.
I don't want to see it.
All right. I call it Bret Hart.
That's a baguette.
Yeah.
You're putting a baguette in a sharpshooter.
That's right.
Yeah. Look, Earl, I don't know. You're going to have to make peace with everybody. You're going to have to make peace with Vince McMahon and Stephanie and Triple H and Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels.
A famous wrestler once said, it always pays to apologize because it's always about money. It's always about business with the WWE.
I think another problem is going to be your speech at the Hall of Fame.
How do you think this? Yeah, we got it.
Earl, you just take some of that bread out of your mouth.
Sorry, I just got carried away. I was thinking about me doing a speech, and I ate some bread.
Well, Earl, I'd like to see you in the Hall of Fame someday. I just don't know if it's going to happen.
Well, thanks. I appreciate your signature.
Do you have a plan of attack?
Yes, signatures.
Oh, you're doing a petition?
I'm doing a petition.
Oh, well, all right. Well, that's a lot of petitions we got going around today.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the other one?
We have Jack Swagger. Also,
for the video game? Is it for the video game?
That's it. It was for the video game.
Jeez. You know, I have to
Don't show me that picture of you fucking a baguette in front of me. I can't think of
Look,
things.
the background is your back. I've been following you around all day. I'm right behind you.
Look, Earl.
Look, where did I go?
I don't know.
Just because I'm right behind you.
Earl, go back on Twitter and please follow. Hey, you might get a free T-shirt out of this if you go follow C Rosie VOC on Twitter. You might get a free T-shirt.
The choice of voice.
Well, that's close enough. Earl, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining me in my petition to be Hall of Famer.
Yes, well, I'm sure we'll get everybody to sign it online.
If you need me, I'll be right behind you.
Oh God, he's gonna be right behind me. Guys, that wraps up another episode of Curtain Jerks. We'd like to thank Christian Rosenberg for being on the show. I got Earl Hebner. He's infiltrating my vocal tones.
You got the mush mouth.
And I'm under the weather. Guys, I will rise above this weather. I'm telling you. I'm going to Toronto next week where Raw's going to be. I didn't even know that. I didn't plan that. It's unprecedented.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too. It's going to be awesome.
Oh, I'm not going to be there, but I'm excited for you.
If you're going to be in Toronto, let me know on Twitter, and I probably won't see you there.
There's a wrestling event the day of the Raw show. Are you going to go to that one?
The day before.
Are you going to go to the indie show as well as the Raw show?
I've been trying to tweet them to see if Fight Brand will let me show up there and ask some questions.
Oh, very cool.
So please check out Christian Rosenberg's show, the Insane Wrestling League at theiwl.com. You can get it on i-PPV for only $3. And you get it for free on Roku. Also, follow Christian Rosenberg at CRosieVOC. That is obviously our plug of the week. All that's the good stuff right there. And if you follow Christian Rosenberg, he said if you're the 10th follower, he's giving you a free shirt. Where else can you get?
Oh, I've got a
How
plug
would
of
you
the
like
week.
that?
I've got a secondary plug of the week.
A secondary plug of the week?
Yeah, I'm going to be on the Sports podcast this week.
Oh, that was our plug of the week last week. Steve's a special guest on there.
Yeah.
Look at that. Where can they get that, Steve?
Comedy Podcast Network.
Boom. There you go. And iTunes. And check out Afterbuzz. All of Christian Rosenberg's stuff that he was on plugging the show. Afterbuzz, Insane Wrestling League, and his Twitter. So check that out. Guys, this has been Curtain Jerks. I'm Scott Narver.
And I'm Steve Sears.
Enjoy your wrestling, kids.
Scott, what a great show today.
One of the best. Always the best.
Great bests.
If you want to get interactive with Curtain Jerks, which I know you do, Steve,
Absolutely. That would be another great best thing to do.
go to facebook.com/Curtain Jerks.
Hey, that's a great place to see photos of you with wrestlers and
Looking
interact with
stupid.
us. The
I look
hosts.
stupid.
Hey, you look pretty classy.
But yeah, get interactive with us. You can talk with us on there. We post matches, photos, videos, all kinds of stuff.
Is there another way we can interact with our fans?
We can interact with all these jerks at Twitter. Twitter.com/Curtain Jerks.
What a great Twitter handle.
We tweet all the time.
We
love
tweet at
the
breakfast.
tweets.
We do live tweets of shows, live tweets of live events.
I should wake up for breakfast.
Yeah, you should. You could tweet it.
And of course, listening to Curtain Jerks is massively important. Listen to Curtain Jerks on comedypodcastnetwork.com, Stitcher Radio, and iTunes. All free.
Rate and review us on iTunes. Makes a big difference
That's
to us.
huge.
Yeah,
That's
it's
huge. It
fantastic.
makes us a global phenomenon.
You have received this transmission from the Comedy Podcast Network. For more shows, visit comedypodcastnetwork.com.